guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Konting update lang tayo sa caregiver program or rather yung mga naghihintay makarinig from IRCC, yung mga nakapagpasok ng kanilang application doon sa last intake for the caregiver program. March 31 yun nangyari. So, malapit na mag 6 months at halos there's hardly been any movement. Or no movement at all ba talaga, Miss G? No? Anyway, explain yan sa atin ni Miss G. And now, because of the long processing time, meron pong ilang mga applicants dyan sa pathway na yan, nangangamba, mukhang they are facing expiring permits. Pero syempre, meron naman pong magagawa if you are in that situation. At yan po ang ating pag-uusapan kasama ang nagbabalik si Miss G, Miss Geraldine Vallarail ng GHV Immigration. Nice to hear from you again, Miss G.
Yes, thanks, Miss Ina. Alam mo, talaga, parang ikaw lang yung nakaka-pronounce talaga ng last name ko na, alam mo, hindi ko ukal. Yes. It's like a tongue twister kasi.
Okay, ang email po ni Miss G, yung gumagapang sa ibaba, uunahan ko na kayo ha, kaya wag na kayo mag-comment kung paano nyo makokontakt si Miss G. Yan po ang kanyang email. Okay, I understand, Miss G. Grabe no, magsi 6 months na. Ano na ang latest, kung meron man movement for those who were able to lodge their applications noong March 31 for the caregiver program?
Oo. So many applicants are in the same boat. Pati yung mga aplikante ko, medyo kinakatok na rin ako. Meron na po bang galaw ang mga application? So unfortunately, until this time, we are checking, like me personally, checking talaga kung meron ng galaw sa application. No, wala pa talagang galaw ang application. So kailangan natin ng napakaraming pasensya. I also check the processing time ng IRCC. So if you look at that personally, hindi pa rin kasama ang home care worker dun sa processing time. So ang makikita mo pa rin doon is yung home support at saka yung child care, which is from the old program. So if you look at that, nagre-range siya from 25 months to 31 months yung sa old program, ang processing time. However, I remember nung bago mag-open ng home care worker, sinabi ng IRCC, they somehow promised na mas magiging mabilis ang processing.
Yeah, okay.
But somehow, until this time, wala pa rin galaw ang application. So, I would say, delays do not necessarily mean naman na may problema din sa application. No? Yeah. So, huwag kayong mag-think unnecessarily na, baka hindi qualified ako or baka yun nga ma-return ang application ko. So delay doesn't necessarily mean na may problema sa application nyo.
Yeah, and buti you pointed it out pala, Miss G, na in the previous intakes, umaabot pala ng 2 taon yung processing na noon. Yun nga lang, we are hoping for a quicker processing time this time around dahil as you mentioned, nabanggit nga ng IRCC na bibilisan na nila. So okay, don't worry guys, no? Baka iniisip nung iba kasi, Miss G, napasok kaya talaga, baka hindi nila, alam mo yun, yung mga ganong concerns, baka hindi napindot yung enter, hindi nakuha yung mga papel ko or whatever. That is not the case.
Yeah, no? That's not the case. But then of course, ang indication na naipasok nyo yung application nyo, kung makareceive kayo ng acknowledgement, hindi yun yung AOR na tinatawag. So parang email saying na-receive yung application, nakapasok ang application. So kapag hindi kayo nakareceive ng ganong email, so medyo nakakakaba yun, baka nga hindi pumasok yung application nyo.
All right. Okay, now for our topic, itong ating headline, Ms. G. So I understand some of your clients also medyo mag-expire na ang kanilang permit. Ano ba ang gagawin para dun sa iba pong nakikinig na nasa ganyan din pong sitwasyon? Anong mga advice niyo dyan muna tayo. Sige, sorry, Ms. G.
So you will need the help of a new LMIA, of course. Even if nagtatrabaho na kayo dun sa employer na nag-support ng application nyo for the home care worker, kailangan nyo pa rin or kailangan pa rin ng employer na mag-apply ng LMIA. So remember, applying for an LMI, dun sa last episode natin nabanggit ko na rin, no, na LMIA for a caregiver is possible kahit pa nasa metropolitan areas kayo na above 6% or mataas ang unemployment rate. So somehow the caregiver LMIA is exempted. No? However, yung employer nyo is kailangan pa rin i-prove na talaga naghanap sila ng PR or permanent residents and Canadian citizens para mag-cover din sa job. It's not for the sake of, ay, mag-a-apply ng LMI para sa inyo. No? So, ang pagkakaiba lang this time is hindi na pwede mag-impose ngayon ng employer for a live-in arrangement. So this is really a major shift from the old live-in caregiver program. So iyon, like kahapon may na-receive akong tawag from an employer. So parang gusto niya mandatory na live-in. So nakatira dapat yung caregiver sa bahay. Then I told the employer, no, unfortunately, hindi na pwede yung gano'n. Napilitan ang caregiver na nakatira or with the live-in arrangement. Oo, hindi na. So that is one of the ways ng Canada to protect naman yung mga caregivers din.
Okay, baka huli lang ako sa balita, Miss Gino. How new is that rule na bawal na yung live-in kapag mag-secure ka ng caregiver, bawal na yung live-in? Is it, kailan pa po yan?
If I'm not mistaken, early this year, halos kasabay siya ng mga restrictions.
Oh, okay.
Oo. So medyo matagal na rin. So I feel good in that kasi talagang marami namang caregiver talaga na naaabuso. So this time, yeah, I mean, I'm glad na isa yun sa mga restrictions na binigay din ng Canada for the caregiver.
Miss G, ito naman my next question. Does it ever happen or have you ever encountered anybody telling you na ay, hindi na makipaghintay yung amo ko, yung nagbigay sa akin ng job offer dahil sobrang tagal? May ganyan bang situation? And if so, how will that impact their application? What can they do to keep them, there or eligible?
Yeah. So far from my end, wala pa namang nare-report sa akin yung aking mga aplikante. No? Meron pala ako on a PGWP, then wala nang, of course, ang permit is expiring or has expired. No? So in that case, so kailangan talaga nila maghanap uli ng panibagong employer, no? If they really want to stay in Canada. So another option then, kung like let us say, okay, tapos na yung PGWP nyo, or let us say kung naka-close work permit kayo and wala nang ways ang employer to renew or extend your work permit, possible din naman na umuwi rin ng Pinas. No? I haven't heard any like rules naman or policy stopping specific for the home care worker and I believe even for other PR applications na bawal or hindi pwedeng lumabas ang isang aplikante who lodged the PR application from inside Canada na lumabas ng Canada.
Ayun. So that's a good point. They don't, kasi baka yung iba sabihin hindi ako pwedeng lumabas kasi from inside Canada ako nag-apply. Baka sabihin nila pag nalaman ng Canada na lumabas ako, baka automatic denied kasi lumabas ako nung before siya mapagdesisyonan or something. That is not the case. They can do that.
Yes, they can do that, of course. And most important is, like, for example, ayaw nyo namang lumabas ng Canada, so wala kayong option for an LMIA, you can also consider transitioning to becoming a student. No? Kung talagang gusto nyong madagdagan ang knowledge nyo, and of course, your education, you can transition to being a student. And of course, kung walang budget for being a student, yeah, very pricey.
Yan talaga, totoo yan. Walang budget.
Then transition to being a visitor. Na-apply kayo ng visitors, visa. Para, what's important is throughout your stay in Canada, kailangan legal.
And there is no such thing like a special work permit or something that could be granted to those na may pending application dito. Walang ganong type of work permit special ones dahil kumbaga implied ka, feeling mo, or waiting ka, mag-apply ka ng work permit. Walang ganon, Miss G.
That applies to, for example, okay, probably let's go into, just wanna give idea. Paano ba pinaprocess ng IRCC ang application?
Mm.
So nag-submit tayo ng application last March 31, 2025. Naka-receive tayo ng confirmation that IRCC received or nag-went through ang application online. Ang unang gagawin ng IRCC dyan is yung tinatawag na Regulations 10 or completeness check. No, so
Okay.
i-check nila dyan, na-fill outan ba, na-signan ba yung lahat ng IRCC forms na nakalist doon sa checklist. No, na isubmit ba ang lahat ng mandatory documents? Again, naka-mention doon sa checklist. And of course, nagbayad ba ng government fees? So kung kumpleto lahat yon, then that is the time na magre-release ng AOR or Acknowledgement of Receipt ang IRCC. It's a very important document because yung AOR na yon can possibly use for yung tinatawag natin na bridging open work permit.
Oh, yan. Okay. O, pwede pala.
Yes. Oo, until this time, ano pa rin yun, in place pa rin yung policy na yun, na bridging open work permit. And yeah, makakapag-apply sila ng bridging open work permit means you can apply for a work permit while waiting for the decision ng work permit mo.
Oh, edi pwede pala yun, Miss G. They don't even need to leave.
Yes,
If
they don't.
Oo.
Pero ang problema nga, until this time, wala pang AOR.
Ay, oh my gosh. Ni AOR ba? Wala pa. Hindi, kalimutan ko na yung last episode natin. Yung AOR pa rin pala, wala. Oh my gosh.
Oo. So yung AOR na yun, we can assume na wala pa tayong AOR, means hindi pa nahahawakan ng officer or na-check talaga, okay, kumpleto ba to? Meron ba tong ganitong Form 5476 or IMM 008 and everything, no? So wala pa. Then after nun, pag naka-receive na kayo ng AOR, like what I've said, you can apply for a bridging open work permit, and that applies also sa family nyo. You can also apply for your family. No, either it's a student permit or a work permit, no, you can apply. And okay, and then after that, pag naka-receive kayo ng AOR, it doesn't mean, ay, okay na ako. Huwag tayo makampante, ay, okay na ako. Malapit na akong parang ma-approve. No, actually, doon tayo mas kabahan. Because that is the time na talagang bubusisiin or i-assess ng visa officer ang application nyo.
Oo, doon pa lang talaga ang umpisa.
Yes.
Guys, let us stress the AOR is different from the confirmation email na nakuha nyo na natanggap yung inyong application ng March 31. That is not the AOR. Okay?
Yes.
Just to be clear. Okay, I see. Naku po, ni AOR pala, wala pa. No? O sige, ngayon, Miss G, I know 2026 or March 2026 is the next round of intake. Meron ka pa bang, sorry pala, Miss Nino, before I move on to that, meron pa po ba kayong idadagdag reminders for those who are still, waiting from the last intake?
Oo, yeah, I know napakaraming medyo namomroblema dyan eh. Yeah, number one is yun nga, lagay na sabi ko, maintain a legal status throughout your stay. And of course, check nyo rin yung portal nyo, yung GC key nyo, no? Or your email, bantayan nyo yan, kahit yung mga spam folders. Baka mamaya doon nag-land yung email ng IRCC. So make sure na i-check nyo regularly. So kung nag-apply naman kayo online, syempre may access kayo sa GC key nyo, i-check nyo rin yun. Baka mamaya makikita nyo doon kung may galaw na ba yung application nyo.
Yan. Okay. O, punta naman tayo, Miss G, doon sa mga nagpaplanong makipagsapalaran sa application sa susunod na intake, which is supposedly, no? Ito guys, nandito tayo sa isa po to sa mga na-post sa Canada Gazette tungkol sa caregiver program. Balikan lang po natin yung numbers dito. So for 2026, ang i-a-apply, ang tatanggaping applications for childcare class is 2,750. Okay? Kapag doon ka naman sa home support, Saan na yung home support?
Sa baba siya.
Yan, home support, that's another 2,750. The total is, Miss G, ilan po yun?
5,500.
Yan, and it's a little bit higher doon sa tinanggap po noong 2025. Depende po yan kung sino ang aalagaan ninyo, kung bata o ay yung may high medical needs and
Or
bata.
high medical needs. Either childcare, so and then yung sa home support, pwedeng mag-apply doon is yung looking after the elderly and yung may mga high medical needs.
Yan, okay. And your advice to them, Ms. G, is to prepare as early as possible. Right now, if they are thinking of applying dun sa 2026.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that so? Marami ba talagang minsan nakakaligta ang mga documents, mga ganyan?
Based on our experience, last intake, no? Hindi pagandahin ang application. It's more of pabilisan. And of course, you have to make sure complete yung applications mo. Sabi ko nga, marami din ako mga kliyente na nagbubuo ng work experience nila as a caregiver. So, yeah, preparation is the key. And marami rin akong nare-receive ngayon na mga kliyente na more of hindi sila nakapagpasa last year.
Nako, dadagdag pa sila syempre, of course.
Oo. So sabi nila, Geraldine, very straightforward naman yung instructions, pero parang alam mo nadala sila dun sa experience nila last year. That's why they are going to consider hiring a consultant.
No.
And marami ring consultant din daw na hindi na rin nag-a-accept ng application because of course siguro na-realize din ng marami na hindi talaga possible. Ang magiging possible lang is 1:1.
Yes. Ang one staff, one application. That's the only way to go, guys. Let us learn from lessons from the last intake. Ang dami pong mga nagreklamo. Umuwi pa sa demandahan yung ilan. Dahil yung kinuha po nilang consultant, tumagat ng napakarami, kulang pala ang staff. Hindi tinrain sa pagpano sa pag-upload ng mga documents, kung ano man, ano. Yeah. At ang nangyari, so sayang lang po ang kanilang, nagbayad sila at hindi po na-lodge ang kanilang application. Sa mga nagtatanong, ito na, Ms. Gia, I'm proud to say na itong suki natin, 100%. Okay, success rate niya noong 2025, success rate sa pag-lodge pag-submit ng application. Okay? And yeah, of course, we're hoping ganun pa rin si Ms. G sa 2026.
You know why? Siguro na-share ko na rin to sa past natin episodes because I really anticipated na magiging unahan talaga sa pagla-lodge ng application. Like what I've said, kasi nakita ko yung ano yung naging trend ng past caregiver program plus yung sa pabilisan naman yung sa Alberta AAIP, no? We've also been through nung paunahan sa pagsasubmit ng application. So kaya medyo, I don't know, somehow nagkaroon na ako ng idea na, oh my God, hindi po pwede ng isang staff, dalawa or more than one ang hawak. No, it's really not possible. So this time, I would say, Miss Ina, we only have a very limited spot available.
Oh, okay.
Oo, as much as we want to accept applications, open pa rin kami, pero nag-usap nga kami ng staff ko last Monday. No, so sabi ko, nakakakaba rin kasi pag masyadong, basta unlimited tayo na mag-receive ng application. Because end of it, di ba, parang, nakakahiya na bumalik tayo sa aplikante saying na, oh, sorry, hindi namin na-isa application.
You're just being careful, kumbaga.
Yeah, and we are really doing like a planning talaga on how we'll put up yung manpower namin and then the technology, pinaghahandaan talaga namin this time. So I did set a date na kung hanggang kailan lang talaga kami pwede na mag-accept ng application.
Kailan yan?
I said actually initially December 31st, but I think I have to put like up to November 30 lang. Then after that, no, we cannot commit anymore
Naku.
kasi nakaka-nervyos yun. Pag
Okay.
tanggap ka lang ng tanggap and knowing na how sensitive it is ang pagsasabit ng application para sa pathway na to.
Okay. Oh, so guys, if you want to avail of the services of Miss G, you only have until November 30, 2025. What do you do, Miss? Ay,
Okay,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Probably I may add also until alam mo a certain number, we reach a certain number of applications. No?
Pwede rin yun or earlier pala, depende sa mga magbigay ng kanilang, magsabi na gusto na lang kunin si Miss G. What
Yes.
will you do, Miss G? Let's say, may limit ka. Do you want to tell us how many clients you're willing to take in?
For now, I have in mind like 15.
Okay,
No?
15.
Oo.
Paano kunyari may mag-apply na sa'yo bigla, 20 na? How do you assess which ones you take?
Yes, it's a very kasi nasa ano pa kami planning this time.
Alright.
Oh, yes. Siguro pag-iisipan ko mabuti yan kung talagang kaya ba namin. Kasi yung sa 15 medyo malapit na kaming ma-reach yung 15 eh.
Nako po, okay.
So I'll see. But I can promise you, Miss Ina, no, because I'm using, of course, your platform, and hindi kita ipapahiya.
I know it. I have no doubt. Oy, guys, I trust Miss G.
Yeah, I will not commit if I know na hindi ko kayang alam mo immobilize or hawakan
Yes.
talaga yung mga application. I'm ready to spend my time, a lot of effort. Sabihin na natin money.
Oo din. Nagtitrain kasi si Miss G ng mga tao niya para lang hindi mangarag, hindi magpanic sakaling mag-shutdown yung internet on the day of the application because guys, that has happened before. Yan ang mga usual scenarios on the day. And usually, it's just a few hours. In a matter of 3 hours, I think last time, or 4, sarado na po yung portal. Oo. Parang Hunger Games nga ito, no? Sa labanan ng pagpindot nung computer.
Yun ang hashtag ko that time, Hunger Games.
Okay, well anyway guys, if you want to get an assessment, pwede naman consult lang di ba Miss G? They don't necessarily have to use you on the day itself. Maybe they can consult about their chances. If they want to do it DIY, pwede rin yan. You can call na lang Miss G.
Nag-start na rin ako. Meron ako mga consultation last week specifically. So, talagang sinasabi ko sa kanila, okay, I'm giving you ideas na how to position your application. Kasi yun yung mga nag-apply na last year. So sabi ko, okay, binibigyan ko na kayo ng tip. So it's not necessary. I was not discouraging them directly na give it another shot ang DIY. But then, my consultation is more of like, I'm giving tips paano ang pag-handle ng application.
Alright. Okay. Well, yun lang naman. Miss G, thank you so much for that update. So, sa mga naghihintay muna, mga may pending application na, more patience. Huwag kayong mag-alala na may nagkamali na kayo sa inyong application. At doon naman po sa mga nag-aabang for the next intake in 2026, just call Miss G if you are thinking about it. Okay, so that is it for this episode. Maraming salamat sa inyo. We will end this here, Miss G. Thank you so much. Yung email po niya, yung nandyan sa baba. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Thank you!